All right, welcome everybody to the Down and Dirty at 1:30 Central. This is Vishan Borich from Team Tough. And once again, we're here and ready to deliver some value to you in your life and your business. Today, I've put together a topic that really goes deep and introspective. So I hope that you enjoy it. It's something that I've helped a lot of people with in my business and in my life. I've been doing coaching lately. And I thought this would be a great topic for today because a lot of us right now, maybe it's just people out there coming into my life, are looking to either start a new business or make some kind of major change in our life before the new year begins. So the topic is how to get more of what you want out of life and business. So I'm going to share with you just some tips that have really helped me in my life. So that I could start doing more of the things that I enjoy and less of the things that I don't enjoy, and still make a nice living and have time for my children and family and things like that. So I hope that this is something that's going to help you in your life. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've put together a few slides on this. I'm going to flip it around and cross my fingers that we don't have any technical difficulties like we did last week. But I'm going to try flipping it around here. And if I do, I will come right back on. So just, be patient. Hopefully this isn't going to do crazy stuff again today. All right. Just a minute here. All right. So far, so good. So hopefully everybody can hear me all right. Make sure before we get going further that you log in down below. You'll see there's a chat window there for chat roll. Go ahead, log in, say hello. Let me know that you made it on the call or on the hangout. And as always, if you have questions or comments, I really do enjoy seeing those. I may not be able to answer them right away because I can't kind of do two things at one time when I'm presenting, but I do promise to answer them immediately after this hangout is done if you want to stay out there for a little bit. All right, so again, the topic today is how to get more of what you want out of life and business. So I have put together just kind of an overview as to exactly what I'm going to be covering today. This is really short and sweet, but I'm going to be covering 5 different areas. Number 1, we're going to talk about burnout and rust out. Some of you might be very familiar with those terms, but if not, we're going to educate you on that. We're going to talk about finding your passion and how that's important. Thirdly, we're going to be talking about recognizing patterns in your life. And then we're going to talk about how to develop a plan. Okay, and then finally, where you can get help and resources in order to start really seeing a change and a transformation in your life. Hopefully it's sounding good so far. And you'll be sure again to comment below if you have any comments, thoughts, things you want to discuss. Okay. All right, so let's get right into the burnout versus rust out. This was something that I learned about, gosh, when I used to work in corporate America. And I was in corporate America, for those of you that do not know me, I used to work in the publishing industry for about 16 years. I worked my way up from a graphic design position in the newsroom of a newspaper into their web designer, and then from there I became their internet marketing and marketing director. And then from there I left, started my own business. For like a year, I did executive recruiting of all things and research. And then I got picked up by the same company that owned the newspaper I left. And they hired me on their corporate team, and they own over 50 newspapers across the US. So I worked for them through their corporate office on the internet side, so for digital newspapers. And I handled a lot of the advertising and trainings and things like that. So that gives you a little bit of background for those of you who don't know me. What happened was in 2013, I was laid off, which was actually kind of a shock at the time. As if any of you have ever been laid off, you know that sinking feeling. You kind of feel it in the air before you walk into the office and find out that you've been laid off. But in my case, it was a blessing. There was a lot of other things that happened, and you can read more about my story. But it was a blessing because it allowed me to finally break free and to become the true entrepreneur that I've always been. Ever since I was a kid, I've always loved having businesses. And in fact, I used to have one of my first businesses when I was a kid. I used to make bracelets. Like, you know, you've seen a lot of kids today that have like string bracelets that you can make. Friendship bracelets, I guess, is what they call them today. I made those, and they didn't take me very long to make. I figured out a way to make them quickly, and then I would sell them to all my classmates, and I would make like, you know, 20 bucks a week, which, you know, was quite a bit for a kid when I was real little. And I've always had some kind of a business on the side. So that entrepreneurial spirit has always ran strong inside of me. But I always had heard that you really needed to work for somebody else in order to get experience, to get enough experience to be able to have your own business. Now, right or wrong, that was just some advice that was given to me when I was younger. And so when I left that corporate environment, I was already burnt out. In other words, I was really tired of working for corporate America, but I was making pretty decent income. And so I didn't really want to leave, because that income was kind of like, you know, giving candy to a child. You keep wanting it, right? And so you want that income, but at the risk of burning yourself out and losing your dreams. And what happens with a lot of us is that you work for somebody for so long that becomes, number one, your identity. And number two, even though maybe you don't like a lot of the things that go on, you've just come to accept them. And eventually, if you stay in a position long enough, what happens is you rust out. And what I mean by rust out is that you basically lose your dreams. And I did define it here, so let me go to the next slide. So burnout means you are tired of the job or life that you're building, and you're ready for a change, okay? Where rust out, that's the next step. It means that you have given up on your dreams, and basically you've lost your soul to burnout. You don't want to reach rust out. I think a lot of people wait too long to really live out their passions and their dreams, and they do rust out, and it becomes so embedded inside of you that you can't see another future other than the one you're in. It's a painful place to be. And I want to challenge those of you that are listening to me today, that if you're at that point right now where you're burnt out, you don't like your job, you don't like what you're doing, you don't like your life, maybe you're in a relationship you don't like, you can get burnt out there as well. Or maybe you're in a situation where you're just not happy, period. Don't let it go so long that you rust out, okay? Because once you reach that point, it's almost impossible to pull yourself out. I mean, it is possible. I believe that everybody has second chances, and you can really turn your life around. But the farther you let it go, the more challenging it is to actually reach and achieve a life of happiness and joy, living out your passions, okay? And that's why you see, in my opinion, I know I'm going deep on this, but in my opinion, that's why you see a lot of older people that are out there who maybe are nearing retirement, maybe they already are retired, who are really cynical and negative and unhappy. It's because they reach the rust out part of their life. At least this is my opinion, take it or leave it. They reach that point, that rust out point in their life, where they no longer felt valuable. They felt like they gave up on their dreams, and it affected them. And I've seen this so many times, and it really makes me sad, because I truly believe every one of us has a purpose, and we're meant to live that out. So with that said, I want to challenge you, to inspire you to reach for your dreams. And I'm going to teach you how to do that so that you can get more out of what you want out of life and your business. All right, let's press on. Find your passion. This is probably the most important, really in-depth, introspective work that you can do on yourself, is to really understand what you're passionate about. I once had, actually, it was a former boss of mine in corporate world who we were at a party, and he actually was quite inebriated at the time, but he leaned over and he said to me, he says, "I just want to see you find your passion." And I don't know what it was about the way he said it, or what even, I don't even know what spurred him to say that to me. But all of a sudden, I realized that I was not living out my passion in the situation I was in and the job I was in. And he could see that. And he was not able to voice that to me unless he was inebriated, because it wasn't really something you would say in a day-to-day work environment. And he could see that. And I think that's what prompted him to tell me that. But it was a very impactful moment for me, because I realized at that moment that it wasn't just me that was feeling unpassionate in what I was doing for my life, but other people were feeling it too. And so this picture right here is of a martial artist, and I have always had a passion in the martial arts. I have passions in a lot of things. I have passions in teaching, like I'm doing for you right now. I have passions in anything dealing with computers. I've always loved computers and the internet, but I've always had a passion in the martial arts. And even when I was working in corporate America, I was doing a martial arts. I was taking karate and running a martial arts school on the side while I was doing my regular job. And it's something that I love. And I realized that I was kind of pushing it aside because it didn't seem to fit with what my family or my friends felt like I should become, because I did so well in school. And maybe this is resonating with you. Maybe you're kind of that way too. You've had other people tell you, you're really good at this, but hey, that's not really something you should do. You're not going to make a living with that. And so I want to show you some things, because I do live out my passions today. And I want to help you, number one, find your passion. If you don't know what it is, I'm going to show you a quick way to find that out. Number two, if you do know what your passion is, I'm going to give you some ideas on how you can actually turn your passion into your business and make your life so much more fun and exciting, because you're doing something you love and making money at it. So I'm going to share just a little bit of that. We're not going to go as deep probably as we could, because this would be like a 2-day call. But I want to go at least to touch the tip of the iceberg, so that you get an idea as to how you can start manifesting that into your life, and give you some tools so that you can take it to the next level. Okay? All right, so how do you find your passion? I want to give you this tool, first of all, on how you can do that if you don't really know what your true passion is, or how to really, find it. So here we go. Maybe. Come on, go to the next one. There we go. So here's the way that you can do like a passion test. So I challenge you to do this after, when you have some time. You may not have time today, but find a timer. It could be your smartphone probably has a timer on it, or your computer, and set it for 15 or 30 minutes. I find that 30 minutes is usually better, but a lot of us are limited for time. So if you can only do 15, it'll still work. And you're going to set that timer, and in front of you, before you turn the timer on, you should have some pieces of paper and a pen, because you're going to write down some things. So you're going to set that timer, and then very quickly, you're going to try to fill 2 pieces of paper at least with all the things that you enjoy doing. You're going to do it as quickly as you can. I say to do it as quickly as you can because if you overthink it, you won't actually hit the nail on the head as to what your true passion is. There's been some studies done on this, that if you ask somebody that they have like 1 minute to give you an answer, they will give you the real gut answer, the real feeling that they have. Versus if you tell them, okay, well, get back to me tomorrow, they may overthink it and then actually give you the answer that they think you want them to hear, that you want them to hear, but not really what their soul wants for them. Okay, so this is why I want you to do it really quickly. List all the things that you enjoy doing as quickly as you can, okay, on a piece of paper. When that timer goes off, I want you to drop your pen and go through your list. And don't write anything more on the list, but I just want you to look at it. look at all the things that you really enjoy doing. And it can be things that you're good at, that you like doing. It can be things that hobbies that you want to do more of. It could be, maybe you want to spend more time with certain people, like your children or your spouse. Whatever it is, just list everything that you really enjoy doing as quickly as you can. And then after that's done, you're going to go through that list and read everything and notice a theme that's there. And by a theme, you're going to see some things that are very similar. Like maybe if you are really into kids, like I have 2 boys, that's why I keep bringing it up. If you have children, you may see a theme in the things you enjoy doing that they kind of tie into kids, or spending more time with your kids, or traveling with your kids, or whatever it is. And if you see it kind of repeating like a pattern, circle that, and then pick up your pen and write down kind of what that theme is. Like, for me, one might be to spend more time with my children and my family. Okay. And another one is obviously for me is the martial arts. And another one for me is to be able to teach and help people digitally in an online environment. And so once you do this, you're going to find your passions, things that you really love to do and want more of in your life. Okay. So keep that list, because then you're going to go and we're going to start recognizing other patterns in your life. Because here's what's going on is that if you're not happy right now in your life, or you're not having success, you're not getting what you want out of life, then you're probably not living your passions, right? And you're probably not in the right business, or maybe you're in the right business, but you're not in the right part of that business. You need to, change to a different section of your business. Then that's cool. This is something you need to find out, because the truth is, we all know this, and I say this all the time. Life is so short. Any one of us could die tomorrow. I hope nobody does, but any one of us could. And so why not live out your passions today and make a living doing it and make the world a little bit better place, because you are doing something you truly are passionate about. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next one here. So recognizing patterns. So patterns, these are things that are going on that you're doing in your life that's sabotaging your success. Okay. So these are things, number one, you don't like doing, or that you're doing in order to avoid doing what you really should be doing. Does that make sense? You're using these as ways to prevent your passions from occurring. So again, set a timer, get 2 other pieces of paper, set a timer for 15 to 30 minutes. And then on this time, I want you to list all the things that you don't enjoy doing. And these are things that you are currently doing now on a regular basis that you really don't like doing. And they really are bothering you. They're depressing you. And you wish there was a way to get rid of those types of things. So this is going to be probably easier in some ways than listing your passions, because I think naturally as human beings, it's easier for us to go straight to the negative than it is for us to think positive all the time. So, list them down, list as many as you can. And then after the timer goes off, put your pencil down. And then here's what I'd like you to do is I want you to circle the ones that you may be able to eliminate or outsource. In other words, get somebody else to do it for you. Now, you may not be aware of this, but there are a lot of things in your life that you don't have to do ever again, that you think right now you have to do on your own. So I'm going to give you an example. Okay. Some of us like to have a clean house, right? And oftentimes it takes a while to clean a house, especially if you let it pile up, right? Well, obviously, if you are building a business and raising a family and cooking all the meals, it can be hard to get all of the house cleaning done. So you could outsource that to somebody. Obviously there's cleaning services out there. Maybe you have a friend that just absolutely loves to clean. you could perhaps ask him or her to help clean your house in exchange for something that you can do. So, you can be a little creative here if you don't have the resources, the financial resources to pay a firm to come in. You could trade with somebody, maybe do their marketing for them, or help them with something else that you're good at in exchange for them to clean your house, once a week or however often you need it. And this could free up time and make you happier. A lot of us as women, I think, if you're a woman on this call or a guy, I know as a woman, there is something really refreshing to come home or to work out of a home that is clean and tidy. It really, for me, it's kind of freeing. It makes me feel like I can accomplish a lot more because I don't have that weight of, a messy house on my shoulders. And so I'm just giving an idea here, but if there are things like that on your list that you don't enjoy doing or that are really time consuming and you don't like them anyway, find a creative way to eliminate them. So here's the other part of it, is to go through and actually list creative ways that you can eliminate the things that you don't like doing. Okay, so again, you could set a timer again for like 15 or 30 minutes, and on another piece of paper, list all of the ways that you could eliminate or outsource the things that are on your list. And you'll be surprised, you could probably eliminate almost all of them. I'll give you another way. There are websites out there that'll do just about anything for you. For instance, Fiverr. A lot of us in the internet world use Fiverr. It's Fiverr.com. It's a website where you can basically hire just about anybody for $5 to do just about anything for you. So most of it's kind of creative work and stuff like that, but there are people out there that could be like your personal assistant, and they can answer emails for you. You could even have people answer the phone for you if that's a problem. You get a lot of phone calls. I mean, everything. I've even heard of somebody who wanted to break up with a boyfriend, and they hired somebody on Fiverr to write out a breakup letter and send it to him. I mean, that's really kind of interesting to me, but nonetheless, I mean, there are ways that you can get other people to help you for very little, and it frees up your time and pain of having to do those things. So this is all part of creating the life that you want, right? So I have to admit, I didn't finish all the slides I wanted to show you today. So the rest of this, I'm going to flip it around to me, because I don't have a slide for it. So, and you may like that better anyway. So let me flip it back around here. All right, can you see me? I hope so. All right, so hopefully you're getting some value out of this so far. So I do have some notes I'm going to be looking at while I'm talking here. All right, so now you have a couple tools to help you. Number one, find your passion. And number two, to recognize patterns of things that are preventing you from actually going after your passions. Because if you're overworked, or you're not getting enough sleep, or you're just not getting all the things done that you feel you need to do in your life, you're not even going to have time to chase your passions and dreams and make that a reality. So you do have to clear some things off your plate. And also, when you're looking at things that are patterns that you can get rid of, look at things that are sucking a lot of your time. Okay, so if you're a big TV watcher, or maybe you're really big with social media, being on Facebook and Instagram and things like that, really measure how much time you're doing those things. Because you may find that you literally are burning hours of your day in those types of activities, and they're not going to help you reach your passions. Now, I know a lot of us really enjoy those things, but sometimes it's better to actually schedule them. Like if there's a specific time of day in which you just need some downtime, set a timer and do those fun things. Go watch a TV show or movie, or get on Facebook and surf around and say hello to all your friends. But set a timer so that you don't end up stuck in that endless mind-numbing experience and never actually achieving the life that you were meant to live. Okay? All right, so the next part that we're going to go into is how to develop a plan. right? So now you have your passion. How do you develop a plan around that in order to actually make your dreams and your passions become a reality? Well, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I mean, I hope you like that. When I say honest, that means I'm gonna be a little blunt, because I think a lot of times people sugarcoat that stuff too much. In reality, we just need to hear it straight. So that's kind of why they call me the tough mama. I just tell it to you how it is. So I'm gonna tell you right now, when you're developing a plan for your life, there's a right way to do it, which will have astounding results. And there is a wrong way to do it, which will come off as you being like an opportunistic or a predator to people who basically, it makes you appear like you're desperate to build a business or to create something, and people will flee from you as quickly as they possibly can if you come off that way. So I'm going to show you some things that I've learned in order to develop a plan so that you can literally create a life around your passions. Okay, so I don't have, like I said, I don't have slides, but I'm going to just kind of tell you. So be sure to take some notes, because this is some important stuff that really has helped me. It helped me to completely change my life into one in which I love. I love what I do. I love who I spend time with. I love where I live. I mean, it's really great. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean I don't have down days. I think we all do. But I can tell you that I would say the majority of my time is one of joy and happiness and bliss, because I'm doing what I want to do in my life, and I don't have somebody breathing down my neck telling me I have to do something else. Okay, so, and I'm looking at my notes here, but what you want to do is to develop a plan. So here are some right ways that you can develop a plan. So when you are looking at your passion list, you had circled some things that you really enjoy doing or that you like doing and you'd like to do more often. Look at that list, and the ones that you circled, that theme, is there a business that you could create around that, around your passion? And I would say almost every idea, everything that you enjoy doing, there is some kind of a business that you could create. Now, you may have to be a little creative with it, but literally you can create a business around just about anything. So here's kind of a litmus test so that you can see if you're on the right path to creating that business. Okay, so number one, you need to look at who needs your service. Like who if you were to create a business, like let's say that, let me just give you an example. Let's say that you really love painting. Maybe you're a painter or artist of some kind, and you wish you could do more of that. Well, think about, is there somebody who would like to learn how to paint? Maybe you're really good at painting and you know some things that other people don't. Then you might write down, well, I could teach people how to paint. Or perhaps you're such a good painter that you could sell your artwork. You would like to sell what you do. Or perhaps you know some things about the art business in general that you could give people tips on how to choose good paintbrushes or good paints, how to choose good art, where to find local artisans and events so that they could purchase art. I mean, you could go on and on. You can really start digging deep into ideas. So once you kind of have a list of ideas, like if you're that painter, list as many ideas as you can on how you could potentially make money with your passion. Can you sell what you're doing? Can you offer a service? Could you do coaching? Could you, teach classes to people? Once you start making that list, then you have to think, okay, who could use my service? Who could use it? Who's in need? And then secondly, who must you get excited about it in order to make it happen? Like sometimes they're the same people. Like maybe the same person that wants to take lessons is the same one that would buy art from you. Or maybe it's somebody different. Maybe art buyers are completely different than the people that actually want to learn how to paint. So you need to know that, because that'll help you later on when you learn how to market yourself and market your passion, so that you can literally become, create a business around your passion. Okay, so And then here's some things that you can do too. Is, once you kind of realize your passion, some of you may already know exactly what your passion is. And you're like, yes, I want to do more of this. Then what you really need to do, if you haven't already, is to find people that are already doing that are already living out your passion or your dream life that you would like for yourself and your family, and talk to them. Ask them questions, because that's going to help you to grow much, much more quickly. So here are some examples of questions that you would want to ask them. So one would be, what's working for them in their business? What are some things that they're doing that's really working well? And then you might ask them, what's not working? Are there things that they tried and they didn't work, or maybe they used to work and they aren't working anymore? But this will give you an idea as to maybe the direction that you can take your passion. And then you might ask them too, is there anything that I could do to help you in some way? And you might find that they need help with something in their business. And if you're not looking to own your own business, maybe you're looking to work for somebody, this is a great way to get your foot in the door for a new opportunity, because now you've basically asked somebody for their advice. You're interested in their business. They feel good because you're communicating with them, and they may say, gosh, I really would like to work with this person. They obviously have a passion for this just like I do, and they may have opportunities for you. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is, if you want to build a business around it and they want, and maybe you want to learn from them, by helping them with their own business, it's going to teach you some things that can assist you in growing your business and creating something great. And then, one of the other things that I challenge you to do is to believe in, co-creation. Co-creation means don't feel like you have to do everything on your own, or when you're trying to build a new life or a new business or to change careers. Reach out to people that might also be in the same situation as you. Maybe, like going back to my example of an artist, maybe there are other people out there who would like to be an artist full time. So can you reach out with them and build a collective? Okay, I'm going to give you an example. This is somebody really cool who I met. And for those of you who are listening to me today who went with me to Bali, Indonesia, a month or so ago, we had the opportunity to meet somebody named Shervin Bulerian. Hopefully I pronounced your name right, Shervin. If you're out there, hello. And Shervin is a very fascinating man. He is a sound healer. If you're not familiar with that, I wasn't until I got to Bali. He uses all different types of percussion instruments, such as drums and singing bells and didgeridoos, those things, long horn type things. He uses those in order to help heal your energy, your chakras, if you're into that kind of stuff. I am, so it was really great for me. I love that kind of stuff. And so this person, here he has a very unique business. He wants to help heal people with sound. Well, in Bali, he found that there were a lot of people. It's kind of a hub for that type of business, okay, the sound healing or healing in general. And so he found that there were other sound healers in Bali that were also kind of struggling to grow their business and to expand. So what did he do? He reached out to them and he formed a collective, a sound healing collective of all these different sound healers across Bali. And I think he's even expanding to the world. Don't quote me on that. But in doing that, now he's been getting, people that call in his group, and he calls up different sound healers, and they all go together and they do these sound healings. And that way they all are getting business instead of just one person. And it's made it so much easier for them to live out their passions as a collective. So I'm just giving you ideas here, and I thought that was really cool how he formed that, and he literally created a business around his passions. Pretty neat. Okay, so you're getting some ideas, I hope. So this is just part of it. So once you understand that you can, in fact, develop a business around your passions, the next step is, how do you get help? How do you get help so that you can do that, so that you can develop a business around your passions? Well, one of the things that I found is you really need a mentor. And I know we just touched on it a moment ago, but you really need somebody that can coach you and mentor you and show you all the different options that are out there for growing a business and a life that you love. And for me, I'm part of a group called the Freedompreneurs, and we actually, and I'm also the head of Team Tough. If you're on this, you know that. Hi, my fellow Team Toughsters out there. So all of us together, we believe in creating a lifestyle of freedom where we can go wherever we want, be whoever we want, do whatever we want, with whoever we want, whenever we want, without worrying about money or time. And I know it sounds a little far-fetched. I'd be like, really? There's people that do that? Yeah, there are. There's a bunch of us, actually. And we have developed a way that you can do that by taking your passions and turning it into an online business. Okay, so one of the things that I started doing, because I found there are so many people who would love to do that, but they don't even know how. They don't know how to take their life and their business to the next step. And what I've started doing, or I'm about to begin here, is coaching. And I've done coaching individually for a while, but I had not done it as a group. So I'm opening up something called group coaching. I'm going to flip my screen around because I want to show you my page here is what I'm doing and why it might be a good fit for you. I just want to be clear. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I just wanted to give you a resource where you could get help. So let me see, there it is. Hopefully you can see my screen. Let me just double check. Okay, 1 second. There, you should be able to see my screen. So this is something that I'm doing. It's a coaching program. I'll actually click up here on details so you can get a better idea. And what I'm doing is I'm helping people just like you. And if you're on my team, reach out to me because I want to help you too, even more with your business. But I'm helping you to see how you can take your business and your life to the next level. And this coaching is a 10-week session. So we do skip a couple weeks because of the holiday season. But we're going to go into every Wednesday. I'm going to be leading anyone who's on this group coaching session. I'm going to be leading them on a journey, on a process, a step-by-step process to take their passion and their life to the next level. And so on each of these, we're going to have a workbook, and every one of us will be going through that and reaching for our passions and building that out. And I'll actually show you the exact same tools and the way that I've built out my life and how you can do it too. And it's not business specific. Like, you don't have to. I'm not even going to promote the business that I'm in. I'm just going to be coaching you. You can take the coaching and apply it to any aspect of your life, be it business or personal. But the whole idea is to get help and to understand that there are resources out there that can help you achieve your dreams. And when I say get help, it kind of made me think, well, maybe you're thinking that you need mental help, but that's not at all what this is about. Coaching is all about business type coaching and personal coaching on how you can create a life where you have time to do the things you love. And that's so important to me. That's really my passion, is to help people to create a life where they love what they're doing. And so this kind of gives you some more details. Down here, you'll see on this page, these are the dates that we meet. Our first meeting is October 14th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. That's 8:30 p.m. Central. And it's open to anyone worldwide. I know I've got a few Aussies and New Zealanders, and I think I even got somebody from the UK who's coming on as well. So it's going to be a worldwide group, and we're going to utilize the energy of that group to really get positive and create something amazing in each of our lives. And then down here, I also have a website that I've put together for coaching members who want a little extra. This is called my Tough Certified Coaching Program. And what I do is I actually show you the 4 pillars for really creating the life that you've always wanted. So most people, when they first come into a coaching program, their number one thing is that they want to make money. They want to make more money, because a lot of times you come from a place where it's scarcity. Money is scarce. You're not sure if you're going to have enough the next month, the next week. And so you want to know that you can really make money. And so I walk you through, how you can ensure that and put things in place so that you can make money. And then another pillar is feeling safe. And this comes in through my martial arts program. Is I found that there's a lot of people who just don't have that self-confidence about themselves anymore, or maybe they never had it. They don't feel like that they can succeed. Maybe they have a fear of success. Some people actually have a fear of failure as well. And so they don't ever start anything because they don't want to fail. And so I walk you through some things that have helped me and in the martial arts, so that, number one, you feel safe and able to protect yourself, but also you'll feel more confident and realize that you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. The third pillar is serenity. We really focus on creating a peaceful mindset, because I think a lot of times we get so stressed out, especially if you've been in corporate America or worked for somebody for a long time. It can be really, really stressful, and it's hard to find peace, and you're constantly on edge. You're probably not eating as healthily as you should be, because when you're in that stressful environment, it's easy to fall into some bad habits, and it's also easy to let your mind race. And so what I teach you is how you can find peace and serenity in your life and change things so that you aren't as stressed out, so that it flows like water. And that's really what we should all be aimed to be, is like water and flowing around, flowing around the obstacles in our life. And then finally, the fourth pillar is building a legacy. And what I mean with that is that I really want to inspire a group of people to take these tools, these pillars, and share them with other people, either through their own program and business, or through the business that I've created, to really start growing that and helping others. Because I've learned something really important. It's not about the money. Once you've been in business for yourself for a while and you've created a life that you want, the money just flows. You can't explain it. You don't know why it's flowing. It just does it. And it's flowing because you're putting something into the world that people want, something of value. And so really what becomes important is, what's going to be your legacy? What will you leave behind? How are you helping make the world a little bit better place? And so that's what I want to help people with in the fourth pillar, is how can you make the world a better place through your own passions and your own gifts? And when we go through that, we are going to show you some steps that you can use in your own business in order to help grow a tribe, or build a tribe, and create what I call a revolution in your own life, a positive, peaceful revolution where people are attracted to you and want to break out of the life that they're in, so that they can build a life similar to the one that you've created. Doesn't that sound great? I mean, that's really the ultimate goal, for me at least, is to see this carried on and carried forward, so that others can live out the life they've always wanted. So that kind of summarizes what I wanted to talk about today. But if you are interested in coaching, and by no means, am I, trying to convince you, I just wanted to offer this as something for those of you that are really ready for change. You can click on that coaching website, and it's just, I don't think you saw it. I don't think I had it up here. It's just coaching.teamtough.com. So if you go to coaching.teamtough.com, there's no www. That's going to take you to, of course, I hit something and it's not reloading. There it goes. So it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. And I have 3 different packages. And again, it's not company specific. This is something for anyone. They don't even have to be involved in Team Tough. So if you have a friend that could really use some personal or group coaching, we have that here. So you can read through it, read through the details so you can learn more. It shows you exactly what you get here. And all you got to do is click Get Started. and you'll be ready to go. And this, again, this starts Wednesday, so only 2 days from now for me. If you're in another part of the world, it's probably already Tuesday for you, but it starts on Wednesday for Central Time at 9:30 p.m. Eastern and 8:30 p.m. Central. And we'll send out emails and stuff too. So I hope that helps. I'm going to flip it back around here. All right, so today I've given you some tools on how you can really find your passions and build that out. And I've also shown you, how to eliminate the things that are causing you to feel so stressed, and what you can do in order to be creative to find resources out there and help so that you can start really building the life that you want. I do want to share with you too, if you are looking to build an online business and you need somebody that can help you, then I encourage you to click below. You'll see there's a button there. It says Join Team Tough. That's going to get you in contact with me directly. And I'll be happy to help you, get you started, move you forward in creating an online business around your passions. So with that, I'm going to leave you today. Have a wonderful Monday. It's Columbus Day here in the States, so a lot of people have off. So I hope you enjoy your day. Make it a great day. We'll see you next week on the Down and Dirty at 1:30. Take care.